Hello ladies and gents, I'm alone, there's no James here, but there'll be a lot of Counter-Strike here with me, and it's G2 versus Fnatic. First map will be Mirage, we've got Cash to follow that, and Dust 2 as the third map as a decider if it's required. This is StarSeries, of course, and we'll be straight into the pistol round as you guys can see. So here we go. Already it's going to be more or less everyone dead for G2. A little bit slow on that one, but it's fine. It's all good. And as you can see, MUTiRiS once again is standing in for Ray. MUTiRiS, a Portuguese fellow of Fox, and of course, Portuguese player, the Orpa of G2. And actually, look, Fox is looking to make a comeback here in this round. 2 fast frags, and he's got himself a 1 versus 2. Still some health to work with as well, but all it requires is 1 shot to the face. And Fox is down and out for the count, but still there's some damage being done here. He's losing health. Down to 24, down to 10 now. 1 more bullet will do it, and there it is. Thanks to olofmeister, and Fnatic will close the round. So they will get their good economy to kick things off with, which is always comfortable. Very cozy indeed. And JW is going to be pulling out the Scouts. Mag 7 on flusha. So a nice arrayment of weapons coming in from Fnatic's side to deal with the oncoming force buy that is surely coming as far as Fnatic are concerned. It's quite typical, especially as the bomb did not get planted, as you would otherwise have to double eco anyway. So why not get the pressure in straight away? Here we go, a bit of a spotting there from flusha. He's going to notice a few players. However, Fnatic don't want to overreact to that information this early on. You can see that they can rely on the smoke that goes down. And overreactions can, of course, cause the death of you in a game like Counter-Strike. You want people to, you want your team to hold their strong defensive positions and not move out of them too carelessly. And you can see that G2 are moving a little bit into middle now. And there is a player on short for Fnatic who might be able to spot this, as well as JW, who's jumping around in the window to spot middle as well. And we can see that the B split is being set up here for G2. But a lot of strong weapons here in place for Fnatic to defend this. flusha King amongst them with that Mag 7 in close proximity to these players who will be moving out of the apartments, and the bomb is up there as well, so it would be very detrimental for G2 if the bomb was to get stuck in the apartments and if everybody was also to die. And here we go, flusha going for the jumps, and he's not going to get a single frag, but his teammates are on the case. Looks like Fnatic easily spotted what was going on and preemptively rotated the players into the right positions, and there you go. Fnatic will pick up the second round, only losing 1 or 2 players, so very nice result for them. And it's going to be just a very light investment now from G2, as they need to get 1 eco in there to get their buy-in. And we got Fnatic with some pre-nades here. Money pre-nades, look at that. Fnatic with 2 frags immediately off of those nades. And there you go, finishing off G2 very rapidly indeed. So, I mean, this is pretty standard, bog standard stuff. I do like how G2 did try to adjust their rotation in the force buy to go for the B split after what was initially kind of a failed pressure into the B apartments. It's kind of a nice save idea, but generally this is a textbook opening, and now we get into the real Counter-Strike, where G2 have a buy against the buy of Fnatic as well, and they don't have anybody in the underpass area, which is quite interesting. Instead, they've chosen to put 2 players top middle straight away, and this means that they just want to go for the aim battles and try to take their advantages there. Here we go, they're actually managing to make good of it as well, moving up middle, providing a lot of pressure, getting a frag onto olofmeister and forcing Fnatic to play quite defensively now. Another good kill coming in as Dennis tries to go for an aggressive information play, and that is going to completely open up the A-bomb site. Fnatic are in a really bad place at the moment as G2 look to close this round, and aizy is going to take down JW. So 1 by 1, Fnatic are falling as G2 pressure these areas, middle and A. So not really working out for Fnatic. And you have to give the credit to G2 in this situation, because G2 essentially found a series of 1 versus 1 fights, which is always going to be good early on for the T side. As of course, as a defensive side, you know, your defensive setups that you've created and drilled will give you extra edges over engagements. So if the terrorist side can actually force you out of those and make an engagement 1 versus 1 where there is no support for the CT in that situation, then you're going to have a nice favorable engagement for your team. And as we see, G2 played marvelously there, and 5 players are alive as well, so things looking quite good for them. We can definitely try to sacrifice a few more players here to try to take down KRIMZ. Quite a strong position. He's got some nades here to try to keep him safe as well. And there you go, you might be able to They'll have one more challenge. Oh dear. Poor KRIMZ. He will go down in the end to Fox. So 3-1. G2 straight back in this. There is, of course, some bank for Fnatic to get them to buy in, but this is going to be quite interesting to see whether or not they can hold on to their economy, because, as we can see, they will be spending everything. JW on the AWP this time, though, so that could be the play that they need. JW, maybe some aggression on that one, or I think he's in middle. Yep, he's in middle at the moment with the AWP. Looking for the pressure. And once again, you can see G2, they're actually facing top mid first. What a lot of teams do, actually, is they try to smoke the window and put players in underpass first. That way, those players in underpass can pressure the CTs out of the area JW is in just there, and then you move your top mid players in. But G2 are kind of doing the reverse, and that basically shows that they're just so confident in the aim battles. It is G2 after all, and now they have middle after taking down JW. So the systematic movement is working out quite nicely so far for the G2 side. MUTiRiS will go down though, as olofmeister finds a quick pick there, but the instant trade coming in from aizy, and once again G2 have potentially a path to a bomb site, which should be relatively easy. However, flusha is the guardian there towards short that could make the difference for his team. And the bomb is down, actually, close to T-spawn. So that is something that G2 need to remedy. They need somebody to pick that one up before they make a move. As you don't want to get that next frag and then realize, right, okay, we have to go back for the bomb now. So bomb is going to be picked up. It is going to be ferried towards the A slope area near Maikelele, and of course we have jkaem who's by connector. So G2 have a really nice attack set up here, and there's not much to defend for Fnatic. They do have two players in proximity, but it will be quite difficult. Nice orb on Dennis, and KRIMZ, unbeknownst to Fox, is going to get the kill. 2 versus 2 now as aizy finds the backstab onto flusha, but it is going to go the way of Fnatic. So nice save there from Fnatic. They were really pressed against the wall there, but they managed to fight back. And now it's going to be a situation where G2 can decide to get the pressure in. They do have some money here to force it up. That is looking to be what the play will be that we will see from them. Fnatic can still get broken on the money, so they still need to cement this this economy. So here we go. We've got the top mid push potentially from G2. A little bit of just some pre-nading just to make sure that they're safe against any rushes. And there it is, a bit of aggression from Dennis. He's going to go down straight away, spot a bunch of players. That nade could be money, and yes, it will. Fox will be taken down by that one, as we have olofmeister just peeking out for the frags. And that is what he's there to do on this team. And he's given Fnatic way back into this one. flusha catching jkaem in the back as well. So key positions held by Fnatic, and G2 just don't have the support in the right places. They're just too thinned out at this point. And Maikelele is going to try to resolve that. He is going to push up into slope, making the frags happen here, tapping down flusha at range, but he's down to 11 HP, and JW is on the AWP. He does realize where the bomb is though, and that's the key difference here. That's going to give JW the advantage. He knows that Maikelele has to go for that bomb. He's going to be spotted as well. Great shot there. Actually finds the headshot as well through the top of the arch there. And now it's G2 with not much money. They have to eco. So Fnatic, I mean, they did lose a lot of players there, but at least they'll get this round to build up some money. And that's actually why you'll see KRIMZ opting to buy the MP9. It's a very cheap weapon, and you can make a lot of money with it, so it pays itself back quite quickly, and it allows you to have nades. And rounds like this from the T's could be very rush-oriented. And you can see he's using his expendability here. This is a beautiful play from KRIMZ. He will go down immediately, but he'll get a kill at least. Dennis is there to back him up, to clean up all the frags, and that is indeed what will happen. jkaem is the only man left standing, and the nade is just barely going to miss him there as he falls back away, having picked up an M4. And there's not really all that much that jkaem can do in a situation like this. I mean, his team is going to be able to bind the next round regardless. So what he could, I think one of the best plays he can make is to try to find damage somehow. But Fnatic will be aware of the best possible place, and they should be wary that he can be coming for the push here. Very smart there to push through the smoke from jkaem. Nice risk, big risk, but the reward definitely substantial. So can he get anything more out of this? He's got 50 seconds to try to toy with Fnatic. JW's close with the USP, and he's going to find the headshots. There you go. Another round for Fnatic, but G2 are sort of keeping Fnatic on the ropes when it comes to their money, because again, 3 kills out of that round is kind of significant. So even though it looks like it's really going heavily in favor of Fnatic right now at the 6-1 that we see, in reality G2 just need that 1 round. That said, the 1 round might be quite difficult considering that we have double AWP out in play now for Fnatic, and their players are certainly very strong with those AWPs. Pretty much everybody in the team can AWP very well. JW in middle. This is quite sneaky from aizy. Look at him just standing in the smoke there. And he's going to drop off once he has the call from his teammates. And look at that, the timing is perfect. Just as KRIMZ was distracted, he found the perfect moment to strike, did aizy. Now he's got connector, and he's waiting for his teammates to give him another distraction to move forwards as they try to press onto that bomb site. JW's trying to work within the smoke, but aizy, once again, key timing, able to take the frag onto JW, putting it to a 3 versus 2 as the CT struggle to hold onto the bomb site, but the bomb has been dropped on that site now by the T side as it's ticking away. Fnatic making the effort back in here. So far, so good. Just one player left. And there it is. MUTiRiS will be eliminated by olofmeister, and the round will be saved again. olofmeister with 4 kills in that round. He's definitely really coming back into his own after what could be considered a bit of a slump some months ago. We're seeing a resurgence from his performances. And that is definitely a nice round to get the quad kill in, considering that Fnatic were really on the ropes there. G2 played that excellently, especially with aizy in middle. And now, once again, you know, G2, they can't quite capitalize on the fact that Fnatic's economy is just consistently low because they get so many frags. But again, this could be the round where they do it. The money still sucks for Fnatic. They're going to go for what looks to be like a contact play into the B apartments. They haven't really tested this so far before. And flusha's there with the M4. He's going to flash back one, but he hasn't really seen that much information. So Fnatic can't really, once again, overreact. That said, they have got a floater in JW, who quickly moved to the shop there to support B. As Fnatic, I guess, must have called that they were, or called that at that timing they felt like there could be a rush. But back into normal positions here for Fnatic. They're quite defensive as well. Not playing all too close to some of these choke points. Dennis and JW in, very close to each other, but with the 2 ops that Fnatic are holding. Almost back-to-back, actually. Could be quite dangerous, but here goes the peek. And Dennis will spot 2 players. This is a very poor timing for Dennis, and jkaem's going to capitalize now. G2, the floodgates are open, and they start to march into these positions, taking control of the A bomb site with 1 player. It's jkaem who's in there. But the bomb needs to make its way onto a bomb site. It's stuck in B apartments right now, and it's a 2 versus 2 situation with 35 seconds left on the clock. So G2, they actually do have some time to work with, although not too much. And because Fnatic just don't know what's going on, they can't really play together on a site. They could try to gamble it, but looks like they're going to spread out in here to just make sure that they can prevent a bomb plant as well. Oh, and it looks like they might just catch MUTiRiS. It's going to be so hard for MUTiRiS to know, but the peak comes in and the bomb goes down. And with 12 seconds left, and jkaem's so far away, there's no way. And he's going to get naded as well by JW. So great round there from Fnatic in the end. They somehow just managed to survive each and every time. But you can see that their money is just still atrocious. The damage from G2 is so good, but they can't seem to close the 1 round that they need to force the eco, to get the momentum, and to actually make a map of this. Because now it's eco time for them, and it's a key moment for Fnatic to build some security, get some bank in. But what is that? Great headshot coming in from aizy, but the nades are strong as Fnatic take the fight straight to middle, straight to G2 and their aggression. And they have been completely knocked out of play in this round. Quite a cool decision. We're seeing that more and more, actually, that teams are starting to detect, okay, we know that the other team is going to be on probably a Kevlar-less kind of save, so let's just rush them down. If it's Inferno, let's rush down middle. As we can see, Mirage here, they did a similar thing, rushed up middle. You can quickly eliminate the possibilities as to where they're going to go. It's a big information play. You've got a big advantages, even if you're playing those ranges. And it's definitely a momentum builder as well. This round, a bit of a difference. Dennis close to T-slope. He's got an AK. He's going to flash himself into the smoke, potentially. Okay, he's changing his mind, actually. Push is going to come in. He's going to push forwards through the smoke, but MUTiRiS is going to catch that. 2 Ys for Dennis, and KRIMZ will be lost as well. Great entries here. Very fast from G2. This could really make the difference now, as the bomb can go down more or less immediately as the smokes start to fall. And Fox is going to plant this one very open. This will be so difficult. This should surely be the round now for G2. They have such a heavy advantage in this one. Fnatic should never be able to retake this bomb site. There is even a player that can potentially play flank. He's just sitting in T-spawn. I think it's actually Maikelele just sitting in T-spawn there, watching for any potential flank. And also keeping... What's also key is that he's keeping the T-spawn area safe for his teams to back out to if they don't want to go for that push. And as you can see, danger lurks on the outskirts here as the CT side look for all the exit frags, and they're going to be able to get 3, so that's fairly significant moving forwards. We'll get to see the effect of that as we see the economy now in the beginning of the next round. And there you go. So 3 kills or 2 kills at the end there. Or I think, yeah, sorry, it was 3 actually, I think. And the money for G2 is pretty appalling. Only really aizy with anything left in the tank with 4k there. Everybody else is pretty much screwed. And having just one around, if Fnatic are able to steal this one away, G2 don't really have a buy in the next round. So Fnatic could absolutely crush G2 by winning this round. And G2 have to be wary of this. And they're going to go for an A execute, potentially just moving everybody up slope. olofmeister is going to take down jkaem, and he's going to get forward information here. So now Fnatic have a very strong idea what's happening. The push will come in, but the counter flashes are perfect from Fnatic. They're slowing down this push and really making quick work of these players as they get thinned out before they can get onto the bomb site. Just 2 left now. Maikelele and Fox, who are heavily tagged, still need to plant the bomb. JW looking for those shots. Maikelele getting burned out of position and then finished off by JW. Great stuff there from Fnatic. They found the push on olofmeister at the perfect moment just to realize what was coming from G2 just before it could hit them on the A bomb site. And those key extra seconds, even if it's 1 or 2, really make the difference. And perhaps G2 would have wished that they maybe even had at least one player in apartments in the palace area to split up the push. But regardless, as I mentioned, it's a huge round for Fnatic to win because now G2's economy is screwed once again. Their bonus is so low. Oh, the spray is brutal there. KRIMZ, long range, finishing off 4 players. And that is G2 laid to waste at top middle there. So 11-2, very fast map so far, to be honest. And we're going to buy in from G2 once again. It's quite sad for them. You know, it's kind of the perfect round for them well, for Fnatic to lose, essentially, from Fnatic's position, to then reset them straight away afterwards again. And G2 haven't really found any consistent answers to Fnatic's setups. Oh no, that is gorgeous. A double through the smoke there. Unbelievable stuff, JW. Taking liberties. 3rd frag in middle from JW as well. He's not stopping anytime soon. jkaem's in there, and KRIMZ is going to finish him off. This is a rout at the moment. 12-2. And again, the score is not all that... It doesn't really justify how the match has actually gone, because for the first 9 to 10 rounds, it was very, very close. It was kind of just one round that could make the difference, but G2 just couldn't close it, and now it's looking amazing for Fnatic. We're going to get an A push once again on the last round of the first half, but will Fnatic make this 13? They've actually got, once again, a bit of a mid-push going on, so a quick check there, there's nobody at top middle, but that doesn't necessarily tell them what's happening. But they're going to start to see some of these nades come in. JW's going to spot a player, promptly eliminate him. And look at these counter grenades already from Fnatic. It's so hard to move in here for G2. It is so incredibly difficult. Dennis is waiting close by Shadow as well. Looking for the players to be dropping off the Palace. And there's the first one taken down with the spray of the AK. A second player claimed by Dennis before finally he goes down. And it's been good work here from G2, but still just not enough. And that's going to be the round for Fnatic. A 13-2 scoreline is enormous, frankly. That is very hard to overcome. G2 need a pistol and to stay in this game. And this is the thing, there's such a huge difference between getting 3 rounds and getting 2 rounds, because of course, if you win the pistol round, you're very likely to get the 3 rounds in a row. So you're in a situation as G2 right now where they don't have that, they don't have any security. Even if they lose the pistol round, at least they can still be in the game and still mount a very crazy comeback. If you lose the pistol round, it's very, very likely that you're just done right now. And so a lot of pressure on G2 in this round as the CT side. And the CT side pistol can be pretty difficult on this map, depending on the setup that you're running. We're seeing something quite strategically. We're seeing something that's quite prevalent at the moment. G2 playing a couple players in connector and one in the middle. It used to be that A retake was very popular, and this is kind of an A retake, but there's not much presence in B, which is typical to the A retake plays. And it's basically because a lot of teams like to fake into the B apartments and then drop into underpass, as you're seeing right now, and then make their way through middle into A once they've caused a rotation. And there you go. We've got players here for G2 in connector, on short. They're able to get some money angles. Oh, beautiful drive-by shot by aizy there. Just the single tap, and flusha is well and truly dead. So looking quite good here for G2 so far. Taking with another frag. But it's not over just yet. Of course, obviously, we've got a potential force buy that could be quite devastating. Well, it should be a force buy from Fnatic, which would be very devastating if they were able to win this. They would reset G2's economy, and it would basically be impossible from this point. It used to be back in the 1.6 days, the source days, that if you win that piss around, you can breathe a sigh of relief. There's no pressure. But in CS:GO, you win the piss around, and then you're even more afraid because you don't want to be in a worse position as if you lost the piss around by losing against the force spy. And here we go. Quick aggression down slope. It's going to find the frag onto KRIMZ for MUTiRiS. So G2 will open things up with a bit of information, and a bit of an advantage as well. And so far, it looks like they're holding on to the key positions that they need. Connector is safe. The A slope is safe. Maikelele is able to get information there, just a cursory glance taken down to the middle. So G2 feel as though they have a good picture of what's going on at the moment and strong positions should there be any surprises in store, which there really can't be at this point, I think. And Fnatic, they need to just have phenomenal shots, really. That's the only way they're going to get back into this round. It's very, very unlikely for them, but we'll have to see if they can do some magic. They can pull some rabbits out of their hats. Usually something reserved for NIP, but maybe Fnatic, a Swedish side as well, can bring about some pain. Some damage at the very least is going to be what they want at this point, or a bomb plant, but it looks like they will be denied both. As we'll get the 13-4, and G2 will start with an economy that's going to be somewhat secured for now, as Fnatic are forced to go for the eco, and that should be a lot of free money for G2, so they can start to get that that momentum going. Now, I would be very worried, actually, though, for G2 regardless, just because Fnatic have such a huge round buffer. When a team has such a huge round buffer as they do, only needing to win 3 rounds, having already 13, you can do a lot of crazy strategies, essentially. You can take a lot of risks that normally you wouldn't necessarily want to take. And that can be very surprising for a CT side. Almost doing the things that don't make sense. That can be very frustrating to play against, just because even though it's very high risk, you know that it will just shut out the other team immediately, or you'll get in their heads and you can play the psychological game. It's one of those luxuries that you have when you're in the position that Fnatic are in at the moment. Whether they decide to do that, or whether they decide to say, you know what, our default game on Mirage is just very solid, and we feel like we'll consistently over time gain enough edges over our opponents just by playing our defaults instead of going for a crazy read or some high risk play, then that is also a very good argument for that, and we're about to find out. First real round here of the second half now, as we get into the buy versus buy. Still a couple SMGs on G2 though with the P90s, and big fast contact play, and this is what we're talking about. Just straight up into the A bomb site, and already olofmeister getting the first entry frag onto MUTiRiS. More kills following here for Fnatic. They've taken the man advantage, and they're keeping the smokes to the minimum at the start of the push, just so they can get all the aim battles, and it's working out fantastically well for them. P90 comes in, great cover from JW. The nade will finish off KRIMZ in the end, but not before the bomb can be planted. So the clock has been set upon the CT side now as they look to make their way in. Great flick there with the peek from Fox as we get a 2 versus 2 situation now. So it's all to be done here for G2 still. They can definitely pull this one off as they look to go in. But oh my god, that pre-fire from JW was sublime. And in goes jkaem to try to make good of this now, but he is 1 versus 1 against JW. Another quick peek and pre-fire from him as he starts to toy with jkaem, and he's running out of time. And again, JW almost closing his eyes, peeking out, taking the shot with a couple bullets on the burst, and that's the end of that. Fnatic with the contact play into the A site, with the good spawn that they had at the T spawn at the beginning of the round. Looks like that's going to be enough to close out G2, and I do love it when teams go for that fast contact play on their first buy round with the AKs. It is one of my favorites. And there's still enough money to buy here though for G2, and Fox is going to need to get a pick here potentially. But it's actually JW who will take down jkaem. So now a lot of pressure is being put onto the G2 side. They've got to rotate some players towards more passive positions to cover the now holes that are present in their defense. And look at this, not enough rotation in here it would seem, as olofmeister is going to take liberties. MUTiRiS will go down completely unawares. aizy at least gets the trade, but this is a 4 versus 2 here. G2 could very, very soon be knocked out of this first map. And that's not a good look into this series here for StarSeries. Great shot from Fox, but will it be enough? Absolutely not. 3 players left alive still for Fnatic, as they are 1 round away now. Fnatic, of course, the Swedish side. They are very dominant indeed. They dare to Zlatan, for you football fans. And so far this dominance is resounding. If this leaks into the second map, G2 will be in a lot of trouble. And the second map is a very good one for Fnatic, as it is for G2 as well. Here we go, Fnatic will make their push once again. Another contact play into the A bomb site. And so far, so good. Although, actually, out of nowhere, aizy coming in with a triple frag there. No one seemingly turning their attention to the monster that is aizy, the new pickup for the team. And now flusha is in a 1 versus 2. He's got the AWP in hand as well. Maybe not the best weapon of choice in this kind of a spot. He will almost just see the hand there, barely, of aizy before having to get smoked off. Pushing forwards through the smoke. What is this? Quick frag coming out from flusha, but we'll get the trade there. aizy will make it happen. And match point still for Fnatic. They can force it up here if they want to. G2, I mean, it would make quite a lot of sense. Again, they have such a big round buffer. Might as well go for it. G2 aren't going to have a good buy, and they know that. So here we go, G2 now trying to make do with the jumble sale by Deagle in there, the Mag 7, FAMAS. Best weapon is an AK-47. And already Fox will find a quick kill there with an underpass push. So nice, and also the covering smoke there in middle. Very nice touch there from G2 to get an early frag into this round. But there's, of course, olofmeister now, who's going to be peeking out, looking for potentially some players. He knows they're lurking around here. He's got this Deagle. One shot is all it takes to take down Fox. olofmeister's made his way into the ladder room here. This is kind of dangerous. G2 are allowing Fnatic to get a lot of room, and there you go. olofmeister, great shot onto Fox, and now Fnatic are into the B-bomb site. The push has been queued off the back of these frags, and it's now into a 3-on-3. Bomb still needs to be planted, but now the site is well and truly clear. And this is looking very strong indeed for Fnatic. Looks like they're going to make it happen here. Just aizy left. aizy is godlike, but is he really this good? 3 players. There's the first battle, and there you go. 16-6. Massive scoreline there from Fnatic. They played an excellent first map. We have Cash and then Dust too, so it's going to be very hard to see a positive scoreline from G2 after that result. Of course, it can go either way, and let's not forget the first half, the CT side was really dictated the pace of the second half, and that was really close actually. The first 8-9 rounds, constantly G2 were battering the economy Fnatic. They were always within 1 round of ecoing for about 5 or 6 rounds in a row. But the thing is that G2 can just never win that round until it was too late. So good efforts, but not good enough against Fnatic. A very dominant team, of course, just winning the Face-It finale just last weekend. So, all right, we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with map number 2, which will be Cash. So stay with us. We'll see you in a moment.